And we are live on another umbraCoffee episode, and we have a Umbraco MVP, multiple MVP, Lee Kelleher with us today. Hi, Lee.
Hello everybody.
How's the famous winter in UK?
I'm bearing it up. I've got my old Umbraco hat on, and I'm bracing the weather.
I also recognize your T-shirt. I saw it before we started going live.
Last week I saw that you had your Hacktober T-shirt on, and mine arrived as well. So I thought I'll take it off. I thought I should show some solidarity and wear the T-shirt.
Yeah, cool. That's great that you are together with us. And Callum, we have you back finally.
Yes.
In the European time zone.
It's a big shock to be back in the very, very cold UK.
Yeah, so as we've named this episode, winter has come, and it was a surprise for everyone. So Callum, as we had an internet connection last week during the UDEF Fest, feel free to share some of your thoughts after the festival, how it was.
It was a very, very good festival. Fantastic first event for the Australian Umbraco community. The hackathon in particular was very, very successful. There was a lot of I think basically one pull request per person was solved, which is very, very good. The quality of the talks were fantastic. Venue was really good. It was held in a casino in the Gold Coast of Australia, which is, it was a crazy venue to have it in. Fantastic food. I can't really fault it other than the weather. It was really nice to see some of the stuff that HQ are working on, including V7.9, which I think we're going to talk about in a second. Shannon gave some early demos, and we had some good conversations about where they plan on taking some of the things within V7.9 as well. Niels has teased a bit of headless stuff again, keeps teasing us.
Yeah, so we're coming back next year.
I would love to. It's quite far to travel.
Yeah, that's an issue. I've checked. I've told it earlier. 36 hours at least to go there from here. So a long journey, but yeah, it looked really great, and we all felt the buzz, I think, around it. It was great to follow what's going on there, and yeah, definitely a great event.
One of the things that came out of it was people in Australia, because they're in literally a polar opposite time zone to Australia, to Europe. They don't really have like so much activity in their community. Like we have Twitter is a buzz all day with Umbraco stuff happening in the European time zone and to some extent in the US time zone, but it just doesn't happen over there in Australia. And Niels really encouraged them, like, come on, let's try and do what is happening in Europe over here, because you are on the other side of the world, but we really want to support you somehow. He mentioned as well, like the Australia reminds him of how the UK was when it was Umbraco was just becoming big. So Australia is going to be a really big market coming up, and the community really needs to step up and get incredibly active to help that happen.
Yeah, that sounds great, and we are all looking forward to it. And I would be love to visit Australia one day. Speaking about visiting other countries and events, we've been. It was announced this week the first bunch of speakers at CodeCabin. Lee, are you going to CodeCabin this year?
I will be at CodeCabin. Yes.
Did you see the new identity and new speakers announcement?
Yeah. It looks really good. Yeah. I saw Neil's tweet last night. It looks good.
Super quirky.
Can't wait to hear more about it.
Yeah, we have a first speakers announced. I'm really looking forward for Vitali's talk. I really enjoyed it last year, and there is a lot of people sharing their knowledge, and of course the call for proposals and call for speakers is still open. I had a bunch of ideas a couple days ago, and I submitted 11 ideas for topics.
Bombarded them. Yeah.
I already apologized Ilham, who is receiving those submissions. But yeah, there is a lot of things interesting going on, and identity is looking really great.
Looks fresh.
Yeah, fresh, modern. And I know that there is a story behind it, and we are all waiting for the blog post, which will be shared to describe how it was born and created, I think.
Awesome.
Cool.
And yeah, you've Callum said about the new release of the Umbraco already, and it wasn't a one release.
No.
Three in 3 days.
You know, if we are speaking in statistics, so that it was a week with 3 releases. So it was a 7.9 called GDPR edition, and 7.9.1 and 2, which were covering some issues and things which popped out probably after the releasing 7.9. And there was a huge release of new version of the forms also.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I think the biggest notable changes in v7.9 are there's like a trace log on changes made to members. They've actually introduced a new database table that tracks any changes related to that they need to be compliant with and like report on. They've introduced a couple of API changes as well to make sure that they can. So they've got like a consent API within the system now, so they can track a member or a user has opted into something for compliance reasons. And then I think actually the biggest release here is the updates to forms. I was talking to Warren about them a few weeks ago, and there's been quite a lot of stuff about not storing things in the database if you don't need to, making sure that you you can track consent, so someone has opted in for something, that sort of thing. I'm glad they got it out so quickly. I mean, v7.8 only came out 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I think there was like one patch point release for 7.8, like 7.81, and then and then 7.9. So whoa, that's quick. But yeah, that's great.
When last week when Shannon was talking about this, he was kind of non-specific about when it would be released, but implying it was still a few weeks off. And it was a big surprise to see it land on our desktops on Tuesday, and then 2 days later.
Yeah, I was attending an event in Microsoft Poland together with some other CMS's representatives, and speaking between them, if I mentioned that the Umbraco is GDPR ready already, they were all surprised because some of them are working on it, some of them are just talking about it, and maybe not everyone is doing something. So it's great for us and for our clients as well that we are able to do them upgrades and tell them that they are safe and probably ready for the new laws coming. It's great. And another topic, another changes, another probably future releases of Umbraco. The HQ had a meetup and hackathon yesterday. I've spoke with Sebastian before going live here, and it turned out to be a great event. More than 20 people come to the HQ to hack Umbraco, and some of them didn't build Umbraco solution before, so that was great for them to just learn how to do it. And 3 PRs were created with some changes, and one of them was a special one because it was covering and fixing the issue raised 9 years ago. So getting out of dust.
It's impressive. If you go on the our Umbraco issue for that, on the issue tracker, they've actually imported the comments from some older version of UTrack, I think it was, or an older system, into the description of that issue, because it's that old. They've transferred it between so many different systems, and then the comment section on there is just like a bump on.
I'm showing it right now.
Yeah, there you go. It's like bump. Is this going to happen? Has anyone looked at this? Someone submitted 3 pull requests for it in the past. It's finally been fixed.
Oh, yeah. Better late than never, right? But what surprised me the most, that Sebastian also shared with me a new contributing MD page, which was released a couple days ago in Umbraco. And I remember how we started working on this during the Umbraco UK Festival Hackathon. And there were a gap of information here on GitHub directly, because it was spread across the different systems. The contributions guidelines were published on our, and the contributors really were forced to use different sources of knowledge. So right now, everyone who wants to contribute to Umbraco product has really briefly described and detail with all the details how to start contribute, what the areas are to contribute, and how to help the product itself. So it's very, very great. And also it's the same with all the templates and files, like pull request template or something else. It will be definitely all evolving, but it's all here and it's all ready for future contributors. Awesome. That's great. What else do we have? New Umbraco download page. It was also released this week. I don't know, guys, if you have seen it.
Yes, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I you know, you were saying earlier about the 3 releases this week. So I run this unofficial archive page where I get all the new releases, and I try to automate it. And this page, the only place I know where to get the latest version number of Umbraco is that page. And they changed the markup, so I can't scrape it. So I had to. So I know about the change of page. Yeah. So yeah, it's all good. I think it's much better now. A lot more informative.
Yeah, so I also started working on some pull requests here for the specific release page, and I want to include the link here to compare it directly with some of the previous versions, because always I need to click here, expand this navigation item, and then go to compare versions. And a couple months ago, I did a pull request which enables us to create query string values for specific versions here. So it should be pretty easy, and I am just looking for some more time to do it and to create this pull request.
Nice.
And okay, Lee, let's use this time right now for your contributions and your community activity. Feel free to share on what you are working right now, and what you are doing.
Yeah.
And remember that we have only half an hour.
Yeah, no. You just, if anyone wants to know what I'm doing, just like go to my GitHub page and you can kind of see all the activity. Yeah, it's just a lot of kind of refinement lately. Yeah, so it's been quiet over the last couple of weeks. I got called away on jury service. I told a few of the Bristol guys this. So yeah, my head was down. I was in court, and yes, that was inexperience. So yeah, so now I'm back. I'm kind of just going through some issues that we've had with doc-type grid editor, because it didn't work in 7.8. Same as stack content, which we've got a release coming out probably early next week. So yeah, just like kind of working through a lot of the issues really that we've been doing. There are some like new packages and things in the background, but not that we want to put out there just yet, because they all come with their own level of support and kind of marketing that needs to be done as well. So yeah. What other things are there? There was another one with Ditto. I don't know if anyone uses Ditto. There was James South created the UMB mapper, and then he started to do benchmarks against Ditto, which made Ditto look pretty terrible. And so we tried to figure out how could we make it better, perform it more performance. And we've been doing work on that. And I've currently, when a pull request, made it 40 times faster. So yeah, 4,000% faster.
Wow.
So yeah, there was a lot to be done, but when you're working with like doing .NET reflection, there's a lot of performance problems. So yeah, so I've been buying books on .NET performance and how can we make things faster and better.
Awesome.
Feel free to share them with us. Because after some of the James's pull requests, I also jumped into the gap of knowledge inside of the performance area in the .NET.
When you start getting into it, and I'm not that heavy, I'm not that heavily into it yet. But once you start getting into it, it's all about allocations. You just start to there's this meme from years ago of like Buzz Lightyear and Woody, and Buzz is like showing this going like, and there's one of the like a message above it that says allocations everywhere. It's like when you start seeing allocations, you go, oh no, I don't want to be doing that. And there's just a lot of things that we were picking up from some of the work we were doing on some of the Carlsberg projects we had, trying to do improvements. And I think there's a page on the Umbraco forum about things you shouldn't do, and it is over allocating things. So if you start making calls to various get published content extension methods, if you start getting all descendants and then querying them out just for one thing, then the number of allocations is insane. So yeah, there's better ways of doing those things, but a lot of them are outlined on that page now. So yeah, all those pain points we had are solved.
There is a great package for ReSharper, which is highlighting all of the allocations and then all the possible blockers. It's called Heap Allocations Viewer.
Okay.
And I will also share the link here for this video. I'm using it all the time right now. After those PRs and after I realized that maybe I'm not the best in the performance area here. but there is always a gate to be better and better.
Yeah. It's quite interesting. You mentioned ReSharper. I've stopped using ReSharper. Well, I stopped using it quite a long time ago. I hit some performance issues with Visual Studio. It was just painful, so I turned it off and didn't really turn it back on, which might sound quite shocking to anyone who really loves ReSharper. And it's like, you write Umbraco packages and you don't use ReSharper. So, yeah, okay. So I might have to revisit that.
Yeah, and of course you are all probably working on a new edition of the CodeCABIN, because we saw it on your hoodie.
Yeah.
How many signups you already have?
I've not checked in the last couple of days. Matt and Lucy are all over this, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's all fine. So I've not really been looking into the application side of it so far, because otherwise I'll start just sort of thinking, oh yeah, this person could go, shouldn't go, and I don't want to be that guy. So once all the applications are in, then I'll start looking more. But yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to apply, the dates are, and I've got them written down because I would forget, the 12th to the 15th of October, which does conflict with the end of the US Fest. And I know there are some interest from some US guys and girls, maybe, who knows? Yeah.
That was rearranged because it was previously clashing with our Poland festival.
Okay. Yeah, the calendar's so busy now. Yeah.
Cool. So you've brought Matt to the attention, and we also highlighted his latest post on Outfield Digital about the usage of Vue.js in Umbraco back office. It was very interesting, and I think that it's a topic worth of wider discussion. I saw some Twitter threads about it and some possibilities for future releases of Umbraco. So it's all open, I think. And we are all looking forward for some more fancy tools and possibilities to extend Umbraco using different technologies. And we, of course, will share a link to this article with all of the people who will be watching it or checking the description of the video.
I think this has started a couple of quite interesting conversations on Twitter. Like, I think it was... I can't remember where I saw it actually. So someone was asking.
I saw some as well. Yeah, it got quite opinionated.
It did. Yeah. Just asking, why would I want to use any? Is there a massive performance gain in us upgrading from AngularJS to Angular 2 or Angular 4? Why would I want to use Vue.js or React.js? And it did get a little bit opinionated, but there was some quite nice responses. And I think I may have seen this on Slack. I think you may have joked, Lee, about putting MooTools into the back office.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, Pete and Opera Code did a blog post about React.js in the back office, which is fine if that's the tools that they want to use to build those new property editors. Totally fine. But then, I was just like, it'd be great if we could use MooTools again.
but guys, when we will have a headless version of CMS, we can build our own back office based on everything, right?
Use MooTools to our heart's content.
Yeah. I was
jQuery and everything else.
Yeah. Well, still around.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's great. That's a nice look into the future of the product and everything else. What will pop out in the future. So yeah, this is, I think, it. As usual, we will share all the details and links for everything what we've discussed. You, as an half of the UMCO, of course, we are always inviting people to support you as a creators.
Yeah, thank you.
And we are using all of your packages as well. So we appreciate all the hard work you're doing. And yeah, thank you for being with us here today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yep. And so, guys, all enjoy
the
rest of the day.
I'm gonna put my hat back on. It's cold out there. Have a good day. Stay warm.
Happy Friday. Stay out the snow, everyone.
I'm going back. I'm going sledging.
I really envy you because I miss the snow right now.
It was cold. Yeah. Cool. Right.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
See ya.